Ben Horowitz's The Hard Thing About Hard Things offers a brutally honest and practical guide to entrepreneurship, especially for those who find themselves at the helm of a growing company. In this book, Horowitz doesn't shy away from discussing the difficult, messy, and often uncomfortable aspects of running a business. His key insight is that building and scaling a company isn't glamorous, it's filled with challenges that require tough decisions and emotional resilience. Key themes and lessons. Horowitz's approach is grounded in real-world experience. He uses examples from his own life as a co-founder of Opsware, originally LoudCloud, a software company he sold to HP for $1.6 billion. In the book, Horowitz shares stories about navigating crises, hiring and firing key employees, handling pressure, and confronting personal doubts. 1. The struggles of leadership. Horowitz stresses that while entrepreneurship is often glorified as a path to wealth and fame, the true day-to-day of a CEO is far less glamorous. Entrepreneurs often face issues like layoffs, company culture challenges, and making unpopular decisions. One of the most memorable examples in the book is his experience of dealing with a company crisis where they had to lay off a third of the staff in the middle of the dot-com crash. He explains the gut-wrenching decision-making process, including the emotional toll it took on him as a leader. He also highlights self-doubt, a common feeling even for successful entrepreneurs. The internal struggle to stay focused on long-term goals while dealing with the weight of daily challenges is something many founders can relate to. Horowitz shares how mental toughness, often more important than technical skill, is necessary to overcome these obstacles. 2. Building a company culture. One of the most unique aspects of Horowitz's book is the emphasis on creating and nurturing a company culture. He explains that the culture you establish early on is a crucial foundation for your company's future success. He shares how, when Opsware was growing rapidly, he made a commitment to ensuring that his company had a culture of candor, where employees could speak openly about problems and challenges. For example, Horowitz discusses how he once had to fire a close friend because that person was not performing up to the company's standards. It was a decision that required him to prioritize the company's needs over personal relationships, an incredibly difficult but necessary action for the health of the business. Hiring and firing. One of the most actionable parts of Horowitz's advice revolves around hiring the right people and making difficult firing decisions. In the book, he outlines specific strategies for recruiting talent and ensuring that employees align with the company's core values. He also talks about the importance of making quick, tough decisions when it comes to firing employees who are not a fit for the company. This might be one of the hardest parts of leadership, but Horowitz argues it's essential for the company's long-term survival. A fascinating example he shares is from the early days of Opsware. The company was expanding quickly, and he had to bring in executives from larger companies who had never worked in a startup environment. However, these hires didn't always work out as planned. Some were used to a more hierarchical, structured environment and didn't fit well into Opsware's rapidly changing and chaotic culture. This mismatch led Horowitz to make some tough choices, including letting some key people go to keep the company on track. For facing the struggle, Horowitz frequently mentions the concept of the struggle, which he defines as the period during which everything goes wrong in the startup. It's the time when failure seems imminent, and there's no clear path to success. Horowitz argues that all entrepreneurs will face a version of the struggle, and the most successful ones are the ones who push through it. One of his most memorable stories is about how Opsware went through a period of severe financial difficulty and emotional exhaustion. During this time, Horowitz could not see how they were going to make it, but he chose to keep going. He describes how, in these darkest moments, he reached out to a mentor, and the advice he received helped him reset and refocus. He emphasizes that resilience and the willingness to keep going, even when the outcome seems uncertain, is crucial to overcoming the struggle. 5. The importance of a CEO's mindset. As a CEO, Horowitz explains that you're constantly in the spotlight and must manage your own mental state, as well as that of your employees. He suggests that being transparent with your team during difficult times is critical, but he also advises that a CEO must manage the flow of information carefully. For example, if a CEO becomes too transparent about problems without offering a solution, it can breed panic among employees. Conversely, ignoring challenges can erode trust. Horowitz stresses the importance of showing confidence and focus while navigating crises, and how balancing that can make the difference between success and failure. Scaling the business. As Opsware transitioned from a startup to a larger company, Horowitz found that leadership styles had to evolve. He provides clear guidance on how to scale a business effectively, which includes optimizing for speed, staying agile, and finding new growth opportunities while dealing with the complexity that comes with expansion. One critical insight Horowitz shares is about the importance of ruthless prioritization, understanding that you can't do everything and need to focus only on the most impactful initiatives. This lesson is key when scaling, as a company can easily get lost in trying to tackle too many things at once. Key takeaways from The Hard Thing About Hard Things. 1. Expect the worst. The life of an entrepreneur is full of unexpected challenges, and the best way to prepare is to accept that things will go wrong at times. The key is to stay committed to finding solutions. 2. Cultivate mental toughness. Entrepreneurship requires a thick skin. There will be moments when failure seems imminent, but it's your mental fortitude that will allow you to push through. 3. Leadership is about making tough decisions. From firing employees to managing layoffs, being a leader requires making decisions that are often difficult, unpopular, or emotionally painful. But those decisions are necessary for the success of the company. For company culture matters, building a culture based on candor, trust, and accountability is essential. As a leader, you set the tone for the company's culture, and it will influence every aspect of the business. 5. Learn from others. Horowitz emphasizes the importance of having mentors and advisors who can provide perspective during difficult times. Whether through informal networks or formal boards, having people to lean on is crucial. Examples of key stories. Crisis and scaling. When Opsware faced layoffs in 2001, Horowitz was faced with the task of telling employees their jobs were no longer needed. He tells a poignant story about how he handled the messaging, trying to maintain as much transparency as possible while still moving the company forward. The importance of company culture. He discusses how his co-founder, Mark Andreessen, was instrumental in shaping the company's culture by prioritizing hiring the right people and fostering a spirit of innovation, which laid the groundwork for future success. By focusing on tough realities, The Hard Thing About Hard Things doesn't sugarcoat the challenges of entrepreneurship. Instead, it presents them as integral parts of the process, teaching entrepreneurs how to embrace adversity and use it to build stronger businesses. This book is not just a guide for those running startups, it's an invaluable resource for anyone looking to understand the complexities of leadership, scaling a business, and staying resilient during times of hardship.